Hello, welcome to the first of hopefully multiple videos in a tutorial series on how to make Minecraft Spigot plugins. So this is just a setup video, so it's just going to get you set up for all the things that you'll need to be able to start your coding. So first thing that you're going to need is a Spigot server. To do this, you just go to their website, or links will be in the description, and download this server.jar. It's probably going to be called something like 1.16 or whatever. I have this as a, this is 1.8.9 for me. It doesn't really matter what you choose, I just like 1.8. If you do not have Java installed, and you can check by seeing if you've got a little coffee sign here, you need to go get that. Download it from their website. That's a whole new thing. That would be a different video. So just Google it, download it. Shouldn't be too difficult. And once you have that, you have to create a new server, right? So as you can see here, I have my Java icon. I can tell it's working. If I open it with WinRAR, I've got all the nice and fancy files inside of here. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to create a new text document, and we're going to call it start.bat. And if you do not have file extensions, so it just says new text document and not .txt, just go into view and hit file name extensions, because you're going to need it. So we're going to rename it. We're going to call it start.bat. Sorry if my keyboard's not. Now what we're going to do, we're going to right click it, hit edit, and it should pop up in Notepad hopefully. If it doesn't, I don't know what's going on, just try clicking open with Notepad. Yeah. So what we're going to have to put in there isn't too complicated. I'm going to leave it in the description for you to copy. Right, so what you're going to have to put in is this that I've copied from one of my other servers. Replace this bit here with whatever your file is called. Mine's called server.jar. Yours might be called whatever, or you could just rename this jar to be, I don't know, server.jar without changing this. These values are for your RAM. If you want, you can increase those to get more RAM on your server, make it more fluid. Really, I don't have much RAM on this computer, so I'm not going to be changing anything at all. So once you've done that, just save it, close it, and double click it. In fact, before I do that, I will create a new folder and put it in there. Put everything in there, because all there's going to be files everywhere. Right, we're going to double click it now, and it should pop up with this black box right here, as you can see. So if I keep dragging items from the left there, that's where my other monitor is. So just make this a little smaller, and it's going to say right here, you need to agree to the EULA in order to run the server. Go to EULA.txt for more info. So just hit any key. I'm going to hit enter. Oh, or not. In that case, I shall. Oh, there we go. It worked. Now go EULA.txt. Just open this up and change this value to true. Be aware you are indicating that you are agreeing to the EULA of Mojang. So you can go to this link here to view it. See if there's anything you don't agree with. If there's anything you don't agree with, just don't make a server, because you can't. Right, save that, close it out, and restart your server again. Now this may take a while, so I'm just going to skip ahead. Alright, so it has finished. I am back. It's done it in 22 seconds, that's not that much. Considering this is 1.8.9, 1.16 takes far longer because it's much newer, there's way more features. And if we go into our folder now, you can see that there's way more stuff. This is all very good. And right in here, this little plugins folder is where you're going to be putting your plugins. So we can confirm that it's working. If you want to join it, all you have to do is go into your Minecraft and type in 0 as the IP, or localhost, all lowercase, no spaces, and you will join. Be aware, this is a private server, it's LAN, so that means no one on the internet will be able to join. that's far more complicated process, needs port forwarding, or needs a server hosting site, etc. right? Or needs some Ngrok logging me in how actually, etc. right? That's way more complicated. Now you'll have to research in your own time. For now, we're just getting a local server to practice on. Right, so that's all done, so we can just now close out of the server just by hitting X or typing in stop. And it'll close everything out. Right, so now, what we need to do next is install IntelliJ. I already have it installed, so just go ahead and do that, and yeah, and create a new project. You might want to pause the video to go install it right now. Make sure you get the community version, by the way, not the other one, because then you have to like sign in, pay money and stuff. Now, what you're going to want to do is create a new project. So you're going to be greeted with a lot of things. Just ignore most of them. Click Java up here, and then when it says Project SDK, if you do not have one, click on it and see if there's any of it. If there is none, click Download JDK, and IntelliJ will download it for you. That's all good. I'm just going to go with 1.8. If you do not have it, download it. If you do have it, add it in there, because you might have used IntelliJ before. Right, now we're going to hit next. You can just skip over all of this, doesn't matter. Next. And I'm going to save this project to, just want to save it somewhere, of course. Like, I'd probably recommend making a folder that you're not going to like move around, because that will like mess with everything. I'm going to save it to my YouTube projects folder. And I'm going to call it, make sure to save it into a new folder, like, of course put it in a folder, but then save it, create a new folder for it. So I'm going to call it tutorial. Perfect. Okay, finish. And it'll say the project directory does not exist, it will be created. Just hit OK. And I'm going to open it up in this window. You won't be prompted with that. There we go. So now we have a new IntelliJ project. There's going to be a lot of stuff here on the screen. This is just my plugin, I don't need that. There's a lot of stuff on the screen right now. So first thing you're going to want to do is go over to here, your project side panel. You're going to be using this quite a lot. Click on this little arrow here to expand it out. And here we're going to have our IML file. It's just a configuration file for IntelliJ. You can ignore that. And these are just some setting files for IntelliJ as well. What we want to worry about is SRC. This is where our code's going to go. So first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to right click it, make a new, and we're going to go down here to package. And if you have a website, you might not have it, probably won't have it, you save your package names as your website URL but flip backwards. So for example, if I owned YouTube, I would do com.youtube.whatever I'm doing. But I don't have a website, and you probably don't have a website. So what you have to do then is you type me dot then your name. So I'm gonna be code MC and dot whatever you want to call your plugin. I'm just gonna call it tutorial. You can call it whatever you want. And as you can see, there's a new package right here. Now finally, we're going to start doing some code. You right click here, new Java class. We're going to call it main with a capital M, because that's the standard naming method for classes in Java. It's like a system. It's really weird. And as you can see, it's referencing our package here, package me.code4mc.tutorial, and here is our main class, right? Now so far this will do absolutely nothing, but we're going to want to change that. Mind, we're still in the setup though, so it's going to be doing basically nothing. It's going to like send a message to you or something. Actually, in fact, it's not going to do anything. I'm just going to make it function. So what we have to do first is type extends right after our main thing, Java plugin. We'll do it. And we are going to have a compilation now, because this does not exist in this library. We need to get our library from before, that spigot.jar, which was this thing right here. We need this. So what we're going to do for that is we're going to hit this little project structure button up here, which you can also do with Control Alt Shift S, or go to File, Project Structure. So hit this, go to Libraries, click the plus button, server.java, and then find that jar file. It's going to be in your server folder. Here it is, server.jar for me. It's adding it. Yes. There we go. Now just hit OK. And there will still be an error. In fact, I do not know why. As it is building, you still have to let it do its thing. As it's adding a new library, this can take some time. I'm just going to organize my code a little, and it is done. Now, if we hover over it, it will say import class. Hit import, boom, it's imported. Now, if you haven't used Java before, this is going to be very difficult for you. I'd recommend learning Java first, like on a basic level. Or any coding language, actually. I mean, Java syntax isn't that complicated. But if you've never coded before, this will be ridiculously difficult for you, and I don't know if you'll be able to do it, really. So, first things first is we are going to add our onEnable method. This will be executed every time the server is started up. So, @override, and underneath that, on the second line, I'm going to write public void onEnable. Oh, seems I can't spell. Yep, I really can't. Some brackets, nothing inside those. A curly brace, and hit enter. There we go. This is our onEnable method. That's what these public voids are called, right? You can have many things. You can have public boolean. It just depends on what type you're returning. Right here we're returning void, which is nothing, so we can just type return. I know that sounds kind of complicated. I probably shouldn't be talking about it right now. But all we're going to do, I know it's very boring, but it's just a setup video. We're just going to make it send a message to the server when we enable the plugin. So, to do this, we need to type either get server or this dot get server. I like this dot because it shows all the things you can do in this class. So we're going to find get server. Here it is. Double click it. Boom. We're going to put another dot, and we're going to do broadcast message right here, and we're going to type our message saying my awesome plugin, I really can't type, just turned on. We're going to put a semicolon here, as we have to do with all statements. I can't spell awesome either. There we go. Thank you, IntelliJ, for telling me how to spell it. And this right here is a plugin. It won't do anything interesting. It will just say my awesome plugin just turned on. But it is a plugin. However, it's still not going to work because we need to add a plugin to YAML. This is basically a file that the server will look at and be like, so that's where the main class is. And this is what version it's in. This is who wrote the thing. This is who, etc. Right? Lots of information. So we click here in SRC. And we right click SRC. Don't right click that. Common mistake. Please don't do it. Right click SRC. New file. Call it plugin.yml. Exactly. You can't make any mistakes with this name. Please don't. Hit enter, and the first thing we're going to type into this file is main : space, and then do me dot whatever you called yourself. So that's me. So basically just copy out this, right? So I'm just going to go over here, copy it. There it is. Go from C, and then hit, and then do dot main. See, as this is dot main is our main class. Now we're going to type the name of our plugin, : space. I'm going to call it tutorial plugin. The version, and I'm just going to put 1 author. That's going to be code for MC. In your case, it will be you. And we really don't need to do anything else for now. Everything should be working. Now there's going to be a little warning saying main is never used. Just ignore it. In fact, you can suppress it if you want. I know what to spell. Or not. Doesn't really matter. Okay. Now we are almost done. Now we're just going to test our plugin. So what we do is we're going to go up to this button again, the project structure, hit it. We're going to go artifacts. We're going to create a new one with the plus button, hit jar, jar, and do empty. Just drag this thing over here, this tutorial.jar. Done. We don't want actually the server project library, just get rid of that by hitting this thing while selecting it, this minus sign. We're going to call it, I'm going to call it tutorial. This doesn't really matter because that's just what your file is going to be called. And we're going to select where to put it. I'm going to put it in obviously our server right here, and put it in the plugins folder. So your path should look something like this, where your server is, /plugins, and nothing else. Right, now we hit OK. So what we're going to do now is hit this button up here, build artifact. And here's our artifact, and we're going to click build. And right here it's building our artifact. As you can see, this can take some time. It will take a lot of time on the first time. It shouldn't take too long if you keep doing it. I mean, it's done now, but 10 seconds, quite some time. I would say Eclipse is faster at doing this, but I personally like IntelliJ. Right, so now that's it. Our plugin should be here, as you can see, tutorial.jar. And when you hit the start.bat, your server will start up yet again. Much faster than last time, because last time, look at all these files it was making. And it's going to start, and what we should see is a nice little message saying, my awesome plugin just turned on, or doesn't matter actually, you could have put anything there. Let's see. I'm just looking for it actually. Interesting. Oh, I think I just found it, yeah. That was very strange. I did not expect that actually. Wait, did it work last time? No, it did not. It does not matter. All I did, whenever something buggy happens, remember you have the /reload command. Just reload, right? And that will probably, fix a bug that you're like, shouldn't have been a bug. Unless, of course, you messed up. As you can see, it says, my awesome plugin just turned on. So, we're almost at the end of the video. I'm just going to teach you one last thing. This console box is literally a command machine, right? You can do anything. So, give I1sword. As you can see, you can do that, even though there's no one on the server. I can kill @T, right? Whoa, okay, that's a lot of entities. But basically, don't put a / when typing a command. You don't need to. It's all good. You can use op and then your name to opt yourself. And remember, the sacred command, reload, to fix all your problems. Oh, sometimes just turned up. Well, thank you for the video. Next video, I'll show you how to use commands, which are very cool. You can make your own custom ones, like send you messages, maybe even like do something fancy to you, like set your health, change your game mode, all of those things. I'll learn that in the next episode. Hope you enjoyed the episode and subscribe.